Okay, so we went into our acts, and what do we put in, Rose?
We put in appointments plus of plus managers.
Okay, so it's recognising plus.
No, you can't search for separate words in content.
Yeah.
You've got to put plus with no gaps, and it will bring those three words up. So the act that we're going to go to, can you open that one? Protection of personal and property rights. I'm just showing you what we're working on at the moment, okay? Now, if you go in there and search within the Act, the local government funding authority. So what happens is all the public infrastructure does not come out of your rates. The rates is only for one thing. That's for that private company that you might call the City of Melbourne or whatever, to pay the wages and the bonuses for the shareholders of that company. The local body funding authority, now I've just given you the clue, where do they get their money from? So they get birth certificates, put them out to
The public
Computer Share. So Computer Share put the bonds out onto the market, and the big companies like Vanguard, BlackRock and all those, they buy them. All the big pension funds, they buy the birth certificates because they have a coupon rate, and that coupon rate, it's normally pretty low, 2%, something like that, and they're usually 30-year bonds. So what happened back in 2000, I think it was about 2013, the Mayor of Auckland decided that he wanted to put an underground railway through the centre of Auckland, and so he went to the government and they says, yeah, we'll give you so much, but there was a shortfall of 500 million. So there was a very kind, generous person wrote a bond for 500 million. All of a sudden, about 3 months later, the bond had been picked up. So once it's been picked up, the company that picked it up gives them the go-ahead. So there's a note about this big in the paper. Len Brown can now start the Central Rail link because he's been given 500 million. So, and they never ever disclosed where that came from. We're a deceased estate. We didn't leave a will. Didn't leave a will. So what act would we come under?
The Administrative Act.
Administration Act. Okay, so someone should be bloody looking for Administration Act in the Australian legislation while we're talking.
Darren. Yeah, Darren. Yeah, you look like Darren.
Okay, so the Administration Act. Now I'm going to give you. I'll give you all the little secrets. People go in to the legislation acts and they can't find them. But if you go to some of the chat AI sites and ask them for the Administration Act, they'll bring the they've got a better search engine than what the government gives you. Okay, so you I'm giving away all the secrets now. Okay, the search engine is way more powerful, and it will troll through all the government legislation and find the Administration Act, or if you want one word from a particular act, you go through and look for it. I'll show you how to do that in a minute, but okay.
Power to appoint trustees of infant property.
Okay,
17A.
That's exactly right. Okay, so the Administration Act the Administration Act is how they administer the estates. The estates are administered by the public trust. That's why the first, wherever you go, wherever the British set up a colony, the first one would be the post office. If you remember from the Pirates of the Caribbean, the little guy comes running up. That'll be a shilling for birthing and we'll need a name. Okay? Now they have a name, which we don't have a name, do we? I am that I am. Okay, so the next thing that's set up is the public trust to administer the trusts, because now they've got your name, now they need to administer them. So those were the first two, and when you go through all the old places down in the South Island in New Zealand, you see all the public trust buildings, huge, great ornate buildings. Where did they get all that money from? From your estates. Now they're the ones who give license, or Pirates of the Caribbean was all about commissioned officers. So the Matrix was about the agents, the Pirates of the Caribbean was about commissioned officers. So they're giving away the secrets in those two movies. Agents act for...
Principal.
Right. They act for the principal. Okay. Not L-E-P-A-L. Okay. So as a real estate agent, I knew that what my principal said, I had to follow to the letter of the law, and that was what we were told. If you do not follow to the letter of the law, so now if you're going to be appointing a manager, what role would he have? They will be administering it from the public trust, but public trust always keep everything at an arm's length. Okay, so the public trust appoint commissioned officers and agents to act, to make money for the trust. Where do they get the money for the trust from?
Security. Us. The land.
Us. Okay. They'll send us invoices. Oh, here's your rates demand. It's only a demand. Okay. Always, one of the things that I do is look for the words and the meaning of words, don't I, Nev? Yeah. Okay, so in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God.
John 1:1.
And the Word was God. Who's God? In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. Who's God?
The Word.
The Word. Okay, so they tell you everything. They tell you everything in the Bible. Everything's there. You know, the Word is God. The Word is God. It's that simple. Why do you think I concentrate on what the meaning of every word is? And the one I just put up, what was the main word in that one?
Summons. It was appearance.
He got there. Appearance. So for all these years, we thought that appearance was, oh, here I am. No.
By the filing and service of an originating process, a defendant must, before they can take any steps to defend the claim, file and serve an appearance. An appearance is a document that informs the court and the other party of an intention to defend the claim that has been made against you. In New South Wales, Rule 6.1 of the Uniform Civil Procedure Rules 2005 enshrines the rule that no step can be taken without an appearance being filed and served. Once appearance has been filed and served, the defendant can now take further steps in the proceeding, which include appearing in court and filing a defence. Failure to file an appearance, despite being served with an originating process, is an indication to the court that you do not intend to defend the claim and against you, and default judgment may be entered against you as a result.
So against
Against yourself.
No. It says against you. You is plural.
Is plural. Exactly.
what happened in New Zealand, we had ownership papers for our cars. And so we had title. And when we wanted to change title, and that's why I was very interested in your title today, or your certificate, we would fill out, get our name filled out. We'd go down to the post office, which is the seat of government. They would change. I would go in, say I'm selling it to Neville. They'd cross my name out and put Neville's name on the ownership papers. Now, back in 1990, another agency called New Zealand Land Transport set itself up and decided that every car that was imported into New Zealand, they would take the manufacturer's certificate of compliance and hold that and then give you beneficial use of the car.
Legal title.
Yeah. No. They hold the legal title.
Okay.
Okay? All they would do was give you beneficial use. You can record. Yeah. So they give you beneficial use, exactly the same as what's happening with our birth certificates. They hold the title. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of the law. What's the other 10th? Title. Okay, now the churches spin that around and they say the 10% is tithes. So if you look at the root of tithe, it's title. Okay, so they actually tell you in the Bible, if you want a king, we'll give you a king, but we will take 1/10 of your sheep and we will take 1/10 of your. You're taking title. Oh, sorry. If you have a look on the other side there, those are birth certificates. And okay, so the same thing happened with Land Transport New Zealand. They took. Oh, there's just 3 of them. I order them, and order half a dozen at a time. What they did is they took the manufacturer's certificate of compliance, and they hold that, and they put their VIN number, VIN, vehicle identification number, onto the car, saying this is our property. Now, I got pulled up because I never had number plates, never had a driver's license, did all the naughty shit, but got pulled up by a cop, and he says, those number plates are bullshit. And I said, no, they're not. I said, I put them on there myself, they're real. And he says, where's your VIN number? And he opens it up, couldn't find my VIN number anywhere. I said, it's not one of yours, mate. I said, it's not one of yours, there's no VIN number. And I'll tell you what, he called another cop out, and the 2 of them, they went over, they opened the doors, they looked on the windows. I'd taken all the VIN numbers off. Nothing they could do, because it's not theirs. They've got the manufacturer's code of certificate of compliance. That is the ownership papers to the car or the vehicle. Okay, so if you, how did I find that out? 1990, I imported a car from Japan, and when I went up to the when I went up to the importing agent, he gave me the manufacturer's certificate of compliance. You've got to give that to the guy on the wharf, otherwise they will not release the car. So it's actually fraud, it's actually stealing. They're stealing the ownership papers to your car. Statutes of Westminster the First
1275.
says, the King willeth and commandeth that common right be done to all. I noticed he hasn't pulled it up, but anyway. Common right be done to all, as well as rich as poor, without respect of person. Okay? Now, young Nev here yesterday actually got... Thank you so much for coming picking me up from the airport. That was absolutely brilliant. He got a lot yesterday, and poor brain would have been overloaded by the time he got home. But
I'll drop you off by getting more.
where is the other place that is recorded without respect of person?
In the Bible.
In the Bible, okay? It says without respect of person. So Neville said to me, but we've got a constitution here. And I said, great. So has every other company, because the first thing, when you go and form a company, you must have a constitution. What does the constitution do? It tells you how that company is going to operate.
Yes, yes.
Okay? So, can McDonald's say to you, you can only eat McDonald's, you're not allowed to eat anywhere else except McDonald's? Can they?
No.
Okay. So why do you let a private company called the Queen of Australia tell you what to do and what you can't do?
I try not to.
Eh?
I try not to.
You see, their constitution is only for their private company. Okay? In America, what do they have to protect the people's rights under the Constitution?
The amendments.
Amendments. And what does it start off with? We the people. Okay? So I'm showing you where everything is. We the people. So when you look for the acts with people in it, you'll find all the acts where the people are. Okay, so very shortly, if I remember, if I don't, someone will remind me. We the people, that's where our rights are protected. Now in New Zealand, they formed the new company in 1986 with the Constitution Act, 1986. The World Court said, can't do that. The people's rights have not been protected. So what did the private company do? They had their constitution, but it's only for their company, not for us. So what did the World Court order the New Zealand government to do?
Rights for the people.
Protect the people's rights. So how did they do that? Imperial Laws Application Act. So you need to look for that under your constitution. It's really good to have someone who's actively involved. Okay, so the Imperial Laws Application Act is a very, very short act.
Ours applies to each state because it's not federal.
Okay, now there again, what is a state? Last night I was in a drunken state.
Sorry,
Today I'm in a cheeky state.
A state is corporation.
No, it's a state of mind.
Okay. I'm
They
trying to
don't
work
hide
out.
anything from you.
Yeah.
Did you Google it and see what it was?
Yeah.
State. It's a state of mind. Okay. So here's the Imperial Laws Application Act.
New Zealand, yeah.
It's got they've increased it actually. Used to be 5 sections. Now they've got 8 sections. Do you want to get a photo of it? Grab your.
No, I'd rather take it because on the drive back to the airport, we'll give you a lot more information.
Oh, okay. So, in our act here, the Imperial Laws Application Act, Imperial enactments in force in New Zealand. Okay, it's a very, very short act. Okay, Imperial enactments in force in New Zealand. What's the first one that comes up?
Of course. Policies of the company.
Statutes of Westminster the first. So much of that act that is stated in the words, the King willeth and commandeth, that common right be done to all as well poor as rich, without respect of person. This is what the World Court made them do. And so all those imperial enactments in there are like the amendments to the American Constitution. Okay? You will have the same deal.
And exactly why Brett Kavanaugh put his hand on the Bible and said, I will administrate justice without respect to persons when, he
absolutely.
replaced Kennedy in 2018.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good video, that.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, I've got it on
Okay,
video
so
somewhere.
that's
First one on
where
my
your
website.
rights are enshrined. Do not go to the Bill of Rights.
Yeah.
Now, people say, but the Magna Carta does this in the... Where is the Magna Carta? A judge cannot see common law. A judge cannot see a living being. They can only administrate deceased estates. Can a judge see the Magna Carta?
No,
Why?
it's not a mistake.
Because it's on the private side of the ledger.
Oh, right.
Okay?
Cool.
So where did they enshrine the Magna Carta? I'll give you a clue.
In 1275.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's our equivalent, Darren? For
The Magna Carta.
no, for
Statutes of Westminster the First.
Oh, the Imperial Acts Application
What's
Act.
what's our equivalent? You're saying it's
Imperial
for each state?
Imperial Acts.
Imperial Acts Application Act, 1980.
1984 for Victoria.
1980, yeah,
So
exactly.
each state has
State's
one.
different.
Yeah, each one.
Okay, so they're very similar, but what I'm trying to show you here is to search for things.
Yeah.
Search for one word, search for things, and you'll find all the answers. Don't say, oh, Bill, you got to do this. No, you guys have to find out. Who was it you were saying wanted to kill me because I don't do the New Zealand, don't do the...
No, that was me.
Oh, was you? You don't do the bloody Australian statute.
Don't kill him until I learn everything.
No, Adam and I.
Adam and you, yeah. It's supposed to be Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve. Okay? That's the big
it.
difference. So, like when you're going into the administration of justices, there are you have your rights, but then you have your substantive rights. Okay, so if you do a search for substantive rights, there, what they'll say, we saw it in court once when we did, we were up north and they came out, what an extraordinary day. All the lawyers were walking around saying, what an extraordinary day. We'd pulled out an extraordinary remedy. Okay, that's where your substantive rights are enshrined. So that's an extraordinary extraordinary remedy. Okay.
So essentially, this is very amusing because essentially our rights are established as we've just kind of identified, and our rights are that we don't have to participate.
So why does Bill not go to court?
Exactly.
What does appearance mean?
It's a document for service.
You watched my latest one?
And I think C under 5.51 is reserving your rights.
Just learning. Now, like habeas corpus here is one of the extraordinary remedies. Now, 2008, I went to the High Court in Hamilton and put in a habeas corpus. I wasn't in jail, but I went into the court and put in a habeas corpus.
For a friend?
For me.
Oh, for you.
Yeah. I think outside the box, mate.
Oh, okay.
I think outside the box.
Just putting them on notice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Deserted Hamilton Court. Absolutely deserted on a Wednesday afternoon. Do you know why?
No.
Judges are out playing golf on a Wednesday afternoon. They all go and play golf. Totally deserted, no one in the building. Within 5 minutes, the place was swarming with security guards. They came from everywhere. And my mate and I had driven over from Tauranga to the High Court. Within 5 minutes, I kid you not, boom. Within an hour, I was in front of the judge. The Crown prosecutor was there with a fully drawn up case rebutting all my arguments. And anyway, I got up and did my thing.
You on behalf of the Crown?
Yeah, well, this is before I realised you don't go to court, you stay in the private. Okay, as soon as the ministerial services got up and did their thing, Crown prosecutors, I thought, oh no. Judge has now heard argument, he can become involved. And I leapt to my feet when he finished. Your Honour, no argument. No argument. We're not in argument here. And well, then he's got jurisdiction.
Did you do it like that, Bill?
I did. Not that I'm an actor. You'd never guess that sort of thing.
Was he smiling?
He says, unfortunately, I heard argument, and so he found against me. And as he's walking out, I said, well, I've tried a lot of things, Your Honour. He's walking off the bench, and I always wait. He's walking off the bench, and I said, well, Your Honour, I said, I've tried a lot of different things. I said, I'll get there eventually. And he turned around and gave me a little wink, got to the door, turned around, bowed to me. And it wasn't just a head, he went right down. Okay? That was the third one who bowed to me. So I have tried everything, and I mean...
Neville is listening. Oh, okay. Well, are we in there? Neville is in?
Okay, so
Yes, we're all here listening.
here's a bond from 2015, August 2015. But as I say, the first bond that I did was... Okay, so there's one of my bonds there. Okay. And when I do things, I go a bit